Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will be exploring users data extracted from Google Analytics, a powerful tool that provides a lot of information about website performance. So whether you are a business owner, a marketer, or just someone interested in the world of web analytics, you are in the right place. So without wasting any time, let's now dive into the world of website users data with Google Analytics. We will be using Jupyter Notebook for this task. First, we will import the necessary libraries that are part of this work, and that is pandas and plotly. Pandas is using for data manipulation, data cleaning, EDA, and plotly will be used to plot different types of chart. So let's first import these libraries, and now we will be using read excel function of pandas and read our users data file that is exported already from Google Analytics. And as we click on this, it will show the first 5 rows of users data. And as you can see, there are 6 to 7 columns, actually 7 columns: city, browser, data source, date, new users, and company. As we can already see that we have got different types of browsers. As we expect from this data that we will get different types of city in the city column, different type of browser data from browser column, and the sources, and then for each date we have got users count and new users count for specific company. Now before we dive into the unique values inside these columns, let's first find out the information about this data. So first we will use dot info function and then dot describe function. Dot info will give us how many columns are there, and there are 7 columns, how many total values are there, and there are around 19k total values, and 4 of them are object or categorical columns, and 5 are object columns and 2 are integer columns, and they are users and non-users. And for only users and non-users, we get the count mean, because describe will only show you by default the mean, count, and standard deviation values for only integer columns. Moving on, let's first find out if there are null values inside this column or not. So there are no null values, but we will replace some values. We will see in the next few minutes. Now let's first find out what are the unique values inside these columns like city, browser, and company and data source. So from city, we can see that there are different city mentioned like Abu Dhabi, Amsterdam, Barcelona. Same goes for all over the world. So we got all cities, and now we want to replace some values like these. Not set 6th of October city. So this is not a city name. So we will replace these type of values, and there are some values 69125 rated. They are mentioned in the city column, so we need to replace all these values. We will perform this task in the data cleaning function, so remember that. Now let's find out the browser unique values. So we have got Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Edge, Opera, not set, which we have to replace Mozilla, and then we have got another Mozilla with a quote in it, so we need to remove or replace this value as well. Then we have got data source, so we have got only web and not set, so we will replace this one thing as well. And then inside the company we have got 7 different companies: company A, B, C, D, E, F, G till G. So this was the basic data exploration part about Google Analytics users data. Now we will use some EDA techniques, and we will replace some of the values inside some columns, and then change some data types of a column, make some new columns. We will see in this EDA tab. First of all, as you can see in the info column, that we have a date column, but its type is object. So we need to replace, or we need to update this data type to date time. So for that, we will be using pd.toDateTime, and we will pass the user's date column inside it, and it will update this column called date inside users data. So we now convert data type from object to date time. Next, we will be replacing some of the values. So first we will update data source column, and inside that we are replacing not set to not defined, just for the easy and safe purpose. Since it contains brackets and all, so it's just one string, not defined. Let's keep it that way. And this is for all the columns inside in which we have got not set. So browser we also have not set, so we will update that value as well. But inside browser column we have got another value called Mozilla with a code in it, so we need to update that value as well. So we are using replace, and then we are passing the old value and the new value Mozilla. So now we have got 8 new, oh sorry, 8 values inside browser column, and there are 8 browser mentioned. So now from the city column, we have got different types of values which we have to replace, like these. So I'll be using replace function and mentioning one by one all the values and update with new value. So for this thing, we just need to replace this with new numbers. And now we are good to go to the next stage. We have got not defined for not set values and incorrect value for all the numerical values that are present inside city column. So now we have got all the city columns and uh, not defined incorrect value as well. This will tell us that these values have don't contain much information, but we need to include this as part of our data analysis. Now let's check if there are some duplicates. So there are no duplicates involved in this data set. And now we are just copying our data frame to another data frame, and just copy the data set into another variable called data, just for the same purpose. So if we make changes, it will not update our original data. So it's a good practice to do and copy your data frame whenever you are working on a larger application. And as soon as we did that, we are creating some new columns from the date column, and they are year, month, day. These columns will eventually help us in deep diving into data analysis, because if we need to find out users and non-users data, we can go till day how many users were coming, how many new users were coming, and same goes for month and same goes for year. And this is also will be part of the comparison of specific company if someone wants to monitor 2020 October data with 2021 October data. So these columns will help us in achieving these type of stats and performance related data. So we will run this thing, and now we have got some 3 new columns: year, month, and day. We can check the data types of it, and now we will be plotting some of the values. So for first task, we will be plotting company specific for all companies, we will plot users versus non-users in form of bar chart. So for this, we will save all the values of company data, the unique values inside CList, which will have all the companies list. And now we will traverse inside this list and will make sure that for each company we gets its data, and then we will be grouping by year and plotting users versus non-users in form of a multi-bar chart. So as we run this loop, we get company A, and then it's multi specific multi-bar chart for each year. So you see, for company A, we get 2020 data, users versus non-users. Same goes for company A, 2021 data, company B, users versus non-users of 2020, users versus non-users of 2021, 2022, and same goes for other companies as well. So you get some idea through this of how well some companies are performing throughout the years. And now for the next chart, we will be using browsers data or browsers column data, and we will see which browser is using the most, or which browser our users are using the most. So for that, we see that Chrome is the one which have a larger count, and then Safari, and then Firefox. So these are our top browsers which our users are using. And as we plot this out, we get to know that these are the top 5 browsers our users are using. Now we are going to plot users and non-new users data by year, month, and day wise. So for this thing, and for this chart, or for this line of code, we are grouping by year only for users and summing up for each year. As soon as we did that, we are plotting that in form of a bar chart, and we are showing year in x-axis and y the count of users in y-axis. So you see this is the overall, not specific to a company. This is the overall trend of our data. 2020 we have got 10k, in 2021 we have got 23k users, and in 2022 we have got 18k users. Same exercise can be done for month and then for day. So for 1 month we have got 12 months data, and August was the most prominent one, which have a count of 6k around as compared to the others. And as soon as we plot day wise data, we get that almost all days work exactly the exactly same. Just only the last day didn't perform much well, like the 31st day, but it's just showing you the count of each day. And this is not specific to a year, this is not specific to a month, this is the overall 31 days count of users. Now, what if we want to see a specific company data, and a specific company data year wise, month wise, and day wise? So for that, this is the code which can help for you. So in the first condition, we are checking that the year should be 2020 and 2021. So the idea is that for company A, I want to see the July month data for 2021 and 2021, and I just want to compare the performance of it, whether we improve or not. So for that, I'm making sure that the year belongs to these two values. The month should be 7, which is July, and the company should be company A. So this thing will return us a new data frame which only belongs to company A data. Moving on, we can plot and group by year and check the users versus the non-users count of company A. So this is the count of specific company A. We have got 784, users in 2020, and in 2021 we have got 1080 users, and new users were increased in 2021 as compared to 2020. So this was our analysis by comparing these year July data performance. And as in our data frame we have got a city column as well. So for that city we have got many cities, so we can just plot the top 10 cities that are belong to this company. So in the first task we are grouping by city and then just finding out the users sum, and then for each city we are sorting the values based on the count of users and just ascending in ascending in false, making sure that the top the highest count city becomes the first one, and then moving on the second, third, fourth, and just plotting the first 10 values of it. So it will make sure that it will only plot the 10 values with their users count, most users count. So London was the winner, and the 10th was Karachi, which is a city in Pakistan. And same exercise can be done for new users, and we can see the trend how many new users came from which city, and these are the top cities from which new users came in for this specific client. All the above charts and all the above statistics which we did for overall for all the clients and for specific client as well, we can repeat all these exercise for each of the company. So let's say we are focusing on only one company, let's say its name is company A, so we can save its data inside a data frame. We can just save inside company data, and then we will be using company data for finding out the highest count of browser, the most prominent browsers which the users of this company data are using, and these are same as compared to the overall all the company sites and all the company browser user usage. We can find out the count, the year count, the month count, and the day count for specific to this company A. And then we can just repeat the same exercise which we saw earlier for comparison between years and yearly performance data between a specific month for a specific month, sorry. So this is for the July data, but you can update according to your requirements. This will give us a brief information about how well this company is performing. What are the cities, the top cities performing for this company? What were the count for that, the users versus the non-users, and same goes for, and same cycle can be repeat for all the clients. Before we go to the conclusion part, in the next part of this series, we will plot a Streamlit application in which we will be giving filters option, and this can help the users or the person who is using this, who will be using that application. uh, it, he or she can select any company and check the performance and check all the statistics by selecting the values through filters on Streamlit application. So wait for the next part of this video. But for now, that is it. I hope this video has inspired you to dive deeper into your own website data. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your peers, and hit the subscribe button for more exciting journeys into the world of data and analytics. Take care. Goodbye.